Hello, welcome to the weather report today. Long Island weather report, a little after 10 o'clock. You can see there's Raphael. We got the wide satellite view showing you what's going on. We have a front that's slowly approaching over here. Raphael over here. It actually strengthened, I think, briefly to a Category 3 hurricane. So once again, models underestimating it. And today, just ridiculously warm once again in our area. You can already see those tropical storm warnings up. They also got some flash flood advisories as well and some flood warnings, so I'm guessing there's some rain falling in the southeast. Let's just pull up the radar here. Oh, yeah, a lot of rain. If we could only get some of that here. We may. So let's look at our weather today. Very warm. You can also see some winter weather out west. But very warm day today again, really warm. I think some records were broken today. It's still 70 out there. It actually got warmer because the wind shifted to the west and the temperature actually shot up today. Shot up after that. So let's go look at the highs for today. You'll see highs. Oh, come on. Don't do this. Don't do this again. Oh, man. Come on. All right, it's like I got to zoom in. Highs were in the 70s today. All right. Somehow Islip only got up to 73. But further west got into the mid-70s and 80 degrees in the city. There was a sea breeze today, which kept us from hitting 80. But when the wind shifted to the west later on, you could see. Yeah, and Jersey. Come on, man. 82 degrees at, and the Pine Barrens west of Toms River. Obviously, the lows, not that low. 60s, pretty mild all around. 60s. Even West Hampton was in the 60s. Again, very warm air mass that we're in right now. I'll show you what the day was like at Islip. 65 degrees at Islip, dew point 59. You'll see that, you'll see the temperature actually went up. Yeah, it shot up. It went up to 68, actually, when the wind shifted more westerly. It was actually cooler, and then the wind shifted to the west. The temperature shot back up again, which is kind of interesting. And there is a wildfire burning, and I'll talk about that in another video. There is a wildfire burning in New Jersey, in Jackson Township, as well. So, this is all because of the lack of rain and just ridiculous warmth that we've had. It's just crazy the amount of warmth we've had. It's just another sign of what's going on with the climate. And I think also that, maybe that volcano had something to do with all this, because it seems like when that volcano happened, it was a 2021. That's when things really started getting crazier. But it's just all part of what's going on with the climate. But honestly, I think we're powerless to do anything about it at this point. We're just going to have to prepare for things changing. So at least Florida has done a good job with that. We need to be more like Florida in preparing for these kind of things. But anyway, so let's go and talk about the tropical system now. Raphael. All right, looks like it's a weekend after crossing Cuba. Center of Raphael moving away from western Cuba. Storm surge winds and rain should subside over Cuba tonight. As of 10 p.m., location 23.5 north, 83.6 west, about 80 miles west-northwest of Havana, Cuba, about 135 miles west-southwest of Key West in Florida. Maximum sting winds are 105 miles an hour. Moving northwest at 13 miles an hour. Minimum central pressure, 969 millibars to 8.62 inches. And it says here that there's going to be a general northwestward motion anticipated tonight and a turn toward the west at a slower forward speed expected on Thursday, with this general motion continuing through Saturday. On the forecast track, Raphael is expected to move away from western Cuba over the southeastern Gulf of Mexico tonight, and then Raphael's forecast to move over the southern Gulf of Mexico over the next few days. And hurricane force winds extend out to 30 miles from the center, and tropical storm force winds extend out up to 115 miles from the center, so it has grown a little bit. Let's go and look at our warning cone here, and you'll see here there's that hurricane warning for Cuba, tropical storm warning for the Florida Keys, and it's going to stay out in the ocean pretty much. It's not going to really, they're not even having it make a landfall now into Louisiana, and this could be bad news if we want rain, because if it doesn't get pulled up, then we're not going to see rain. The rain that we may. I'm hoping eventually we will get that moisture pulled up, so we can get some rain, because this drought is just freaking ridiculous at this point. So let's go to a closer satellite image. I want to see if we can see that fire that's burning. And here's Raphael here. Let's go look at Raphael on here. Get this to load. There it is. You can see Raphael got a little weaker as it crossed, but it was, I'd like to go back and look at some of these older public advisories. Oh man, I don't know where we can get that. Let's see. Graphics. Archive. All right, here we go. We can go to an older public advisory here, because Raphael did become, all right, let's see. So it is the latest. Let's go to an earlier advisory. I think it was 10 a.m. this morning. Hurricane, yeah, it did actually become a major hurricane. So let's see if I can go to the next advisory here. Raphael did become a Category 3. I said it might. It did actually peak before it made landfall at Cuba. So it actually did reach maximum sustained winds of 115 miles an hour, with a minimum central pressure of 956 millibars to 8.23 inches. So it did actually wind up reaching that strength, which is interesting. And again, not surprising considering the warm water that's all around. Let's go to the northeastern satellite view here and look at our satellite map here. Let's just see. Yeah, the problem is now the daylight is shorter, and I'm trying to see if we could see any smoke from that fire. See the outline of this front that's coming through. This is just little to next to no rain with this front that's coming through, by the way. So unfortunately, it's going to be staying on the dry side. Let's go and look at Raphael one more time on this satellite imagery, so we can see that now. When you can see, it's going to probably re-strengthen once it gets back out over the ocean again. Would not surprise me if it becomes a Category 3 again. Would not surprise. I think that International Hurricane Center being a little too conservative. Here are the models, and you can see a lot of them now taking it very unusual track, and this is a sign of some really messed up atmospheric weather just going right. It's going to move southwestward. Some of them have it doing a loop-to-loop. Absolutely nuts. That's the hurricane models. The ensembles look a little different. You look at the ensembles; they look a little like they make a little more common sense. Intensity guidance, yeah, some of them take it back up to a Cat 3. Not at all surprising if it really does go back up to a Category 3 at this point. So let's go look at the models here and take a look at what we have. And I'm going to actually start with the upper air here, obviously, when we're discussing this, because you can see we got this big ridge in the east. So here's this little, there's Raphael. There's a reflection of Raphael, but we got this huge ridge in the east that's blocking it. And then this trough comes in, but it may wind up missing that trough. And then we may have to wait for a bigger trough to come in. And that trough could bring us some rain, perhaps. And then we see a little more of a trophy pattern as we get toward the middle of November. All right? Normally I don't go long range, but because this is Raphael's kind of an impact on the weather, we will bring it up in there and in all the weather updates. So you can see, again, there's the outline of Raphael. You can see that track again here. There's that where it's blocked, and then we have to wait for this trough to come in. It's the trough next week that could bring some more rain, tap into some of that moisture, and bring it up, and we can get some rain here. But as far as the Sunday and the Monday goes, I don't know. With this kind of upper air pattern, I don't think we're going to see much. I think we're going to have to wait some more, unfortunately. Let's go back to GFS, looking at the surface here, and I'll show you this surface map, actually. So let's take this way back. All right, so here's that high. There's Raphael. High builds in, keeps us dry and fair and a little bit above normal. So it does bring in some rain Sunday into Monday. The GFS seems to tap in. Oh, it's still bringing it up. That's why it's still having it do that, and then bring some of the moisture up, and then giving us rain Sunday night into Monday morning, the overnight. That's the GFS. And then the next chance for rain would be with this cold front that would come through. All right. That's the GFS, all right, because the GFS is tapping into that. But I think if we look at the European model, I think it's going to have a different outcome. So let's go and look at the European. So the European keeps it down there, and we don't see the moisture from it. we don't see the moisture from it at all. So the GFS and the Euro have this disagreement, and that's going to turn out rain regardless. So if the Euro is right, we're not going to see much rain from that frontal system that moves through Sunday night into Monday. We'd have to wait until this frontal system that comes through later on. So we're still seeing this difference. But it looks like the good news is they both agree that toward the end of next week that we're going to have a significant trough that's going to bring some rain and bring a stronger cold front through. That'll also bring in colder air as well behind it. So let's go look at the southeast U.S. and we'll take a look at these models here, and I'll look at Raphael. And you can see the difference again here. And you can see Euro definitely keeps it pretty deep. And again, just keeps it out in the middle. It keeps it there, all right? Whereas the GFS pulls it up. The 18Z pulls it up. I wonder if the 12Z pulls it up too. Yeah. The 12Z doesn't quite do that. So we have a lot of differences in these models. I mean, they're all over the place. Let's see, Icon's probably going to be like the Euro. Yeah. Yep. So whatever the case is, it doesn't look like we're going to see an impact to the United States from this, other than maybe some high surf along the Gulf Coast. But it may play a role in this front coming. But I can't tell you. I can't tell you right now. So I'm not going to really go over this. I think every night. I think unless anything changes. We're going to have to wait until we get closer to the weekend to see if we're going to see that north turn. But the Hurricane Center doesn't seem to think that is going to happen. All right. So as far as the winds go, we'll put this back to the European here. I'll show you the wind field here. Let's see, the wind field. This is the European wind field. Again, has it pretty much... maybe not regaining all of its strength. GFS does though. So you do have differences, but again, it's mostly out in the ocean. It's going to mainly be an issue for things in the ocean, perhaps oil rigs and things like that. They may have to. I'm sure they're built to withstand that, hopefully. So let's go and look at the HRRR now, and we'll take a look at our weather, obviously. As we head into the remainder of this week. So, front moves through dry and may have an isolated shower or sprinkle overnight. And then, yeah, we're dry again. And the concern is, now as we get into Friday, look at the isobars get tighter. We could be dealing with some wind, and that could be another day for red flag warnings. Dew points, we have a little more moisture in the air right now. We got that wind to the west now. You can see that's why the temperature's heated up. And the drier air will bleed in tomorrow. West-northwest winds becoming north as we head toward overnight, and then becoming, again, a little more westerly on Friday again. But you notice the winds pick up. So that's the concern. Dew points drop, winds pick up. Temperatures won't be all that low. We're not going to be dropping too much tonight. And tomorrow's still going to be warm. Probably still see some low to mid-70s in a lot of areas. Still well above normal. I got to go over the almanac before we're done for the day. And then for temperatures will drop by Friday morning to the 40s. And then a cooler day on Friday, but still above normal. Temperatures in the mid to upper 60s. There may still even be a 70-degree rating, and it's going to be windy. So that's the concern that we have, obviously, with this passage, with this frontal passages, and there's going to be a pressure gradient. Looking at our sounding for tomorrow. Let's see what we got here as far as... It looks like it actually has a decent amount of sun by the afternoon on this model here. So, now that we've looked at all that, let's go to the almanac for today, Ice Slip Almanac, because there were a couple of records broken today. Actually, there may have been a lot of records broken today. Let's see. All right. Ice Slip did not break a record today, but a lot of other sites did. Bridgeport, record high temperature at Bridgeport, 73. That broke the old record of 72. Newark record report, record high temperature set at Newark, 83 degrees at Newark. Oh my gosh. Breaks the old record of 80 degrees set in, Newark, just blazing in Jersey. JFK also broke a record high temperature of 75 degrees, which tied it. And we also had a record at LaGuardia as well. Record high temperature of 80 degrees set at LaGuardia. This breaks the old record of 75 degrees. So, yeah, we had record warmth today. Not at Islip, though, because of the sea breeze. Record high temperature set at Central Park of 80 degrees, which broke the old record of 75 set in 2022. So, surprisingly, Islip, I don't see a record report for Islip here. Let's go ahead and look at the Islip climatological report, and you'll see high of 73, which did not break the record of 74 set in 2022, courtesy of the sea breeze. Still, the low is 62. That's a whopping 22 degrees above normal, 19 degrees above normal for the day. It's another sign of the shape we're in with the climate. And then if we look at New York City Central Park, you see that 80-degree record there. So, and that was a whopping 23 degrees above normal for the high. Man, that is crazy. Absolutely crazy. But not a priority for most people, apparently. So, let's go look at the skies in the RGM here. Oh, boy, we're missing data. All right, that's the RZ. Let's go look at the 18Z. And you'll see the clouds. Probably won't be clear tomorrow. I think Friday will have a decent chance of being a nice, mostly sunny day. And then we have some clouds coming overnight. And then Saturday also should be a nice, mostly sunny day as well. But we'll talk about the weekend, I think, tomorrow night or Friday night, I think. Yeah, that's going to wrap things up tonight. I think we've spoken about everything here. So have a good night, and pray for rain.